Hello and welcome to Adventures in Visibility. Today's show marks the 2-year anniversary of Adventures in Visibility, and I am so grateful and thankful that you are with me here today. And many of you watching have been following and attending since the experimental inception of the show, and I really appreciate your ongoing loyalty and enthusiasm and your participation. And I'm also so grateful for all the amazing experts who've shared their expertise with us over the last 2 years. So thank you, and happy anniversary to all of us. This is a fun, I love doing these, and I'm so excited to be here today. If you don't know me, I'm Denise Wakeman, and I am your host and guide to better visibility on the web. And today I am bringing to you the fabulous hostess with the mostest, hostess extraordinaire, Ms. Mia Voss of the Mia Connected Power Chat. It's been about a year since Mia graced my virtual show, stage, whatever you want to use, whatever metaphor you want to use. And I am bringing her back for a very, very, very specific reason. It is because recently she did something really amazing. And, it's not only that I was totally jealous of what she's doing, what she did, and that I followed her, really cool adventure in Italy, virtually through social media, but she brilliantly parlayed that trip into a media tour as well, and brought on sponsors with whom she created, a partnership and massive visibility, not only for her media partners, but also for herself. So we're going to be talking about that today, because that is something that some of you may be interested in doing. But also, if you followed Mia's trip, her adventure in Italy, or the hashtag MiaOnTheGo, you're probably curious about how she did it, why she did it, what she did, how she managed it. Okay.
I did manage it.
She managed it. And so, anyway, without further ado, no doo-doo here. Oh my God, I'm totally tripping on my words today. Without further ado, here is Mia Voss.
We just get giddy when we're around each other.
It's totally stumbling over my words. So, I'm just so excited. I just want to, know everything about what happened, even though I do know a little bit behind the scenes, but I wanted to share that with my audience too. And I bet some of the people following you are pretty interested as well.
Thank you. And congrats on 2 years. That's amazing.
I know. Well, you must be doing the power chat for at least that long too, right?
You're a little bit ahead of me. I hit my 2-year anniversary in August. I've been doing shows 2 years in March, but yeah, you paved the way, because I was watching you before I started my power chat.
Okay. Well, I know there's a bunch of people out there who started around the same time, and I'm pleased to be among them. Okay. So let's get right into it. And I would like to know from you, what was the impetus for your adventure in Italy and MiaOnTheGo? Why did you do this? What was behind all this?
Well, first of all, this as being my friend, but pretty much the MO for me is I just make it up as I go along. So a lot of this stuff is just things I think up in the shower. That's where I get a lot of my ideas. And then I just try and make it happen, or just go, oh, that sounds kind of fun. Let's try it out. But 2 years ago, I was in a mastermind group, and they had this idea called what is it called? The BMD, which sounds really bad, but it's your business maturity date. That was the date they said for your business that you could actively leave your business for a couple weeks and have it kind of running itself. Now, I'm not saying that happened with me, but I stuck to that date because I quit the group. But I stuck with that date, and that was my 50th birthday. And I about this time last year, I started thinking about it. I'm like, it's coming up, and I started brainstorming about it. And I knew, and what I had said back when I originally came up with that was on my 50th birthday, I'm going to Italy, and I'm going for 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm just going to fly off into the sunset. So I still had that in there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make this happen, even though things look completely different than what I thought they would look like at this age, because it'd been 2 years before, and some good and some some different or bad. But so I started thinking about it, and then I'd had a company called Winerest on my show. And literally, it came to me in the shower, like, I need to check with Winerest and see if, they're interested in having somebody go and be a brand advocate and, drink and eat my way through Italy.
I could get behind that totally.
Can you dig it?
I could totally dig it. I mean, when I heard that you were doing that, I was just like, oh my God, I wish I could be in that suitcase. I mean, that is a dream. And it's been many years since I was in Italy, but basically that's what I did. I ate and drank and looked at art through Italy for 2 weeks. So that was
seriously. Well, and I have to give
brilliant.
And I have to give you kudos, because I know at that point when you and I met for realsies in real life at Social Media Marketing World last year, then I was really paying attention because you were talking about the adventure that you were going on to India. So I have to say you were an impetus and an inspiration for me on this, just so you know.
Oh, thanks. Okay. So you contacted Winerest. And then it really developed from there, because I know Winerest was not the only company that you ended up showcasing on your adventure. So how did that work with sponsors? How did it become that media trip with sponsors?
The great thing that I realized is that I had something to offer with having the show, an audience, and that social. I've got video proof of that. I've been doing these different either shows on the go. I've done a show from the Tesla, from the horseback. All different conferences, you name it. I'm trying to push the limits. So that's when I realized that they might like having someone who is going to be boots on the ground, as opposed to, just like advertisements or things that it doesn't have somebody that's not kind of in real life. So that's where I came up with the ideas, going to interview restaurants, hotels, and then show the journey along the way, which, is a little bit scary because you're putting yourself out there. And so that's the idea I came up with it to offer to them, was to showcase this trip along the way. Show me having fun, pretty much. Here's me having fun.
Well, and as you said, you have social proof already established. You have an audience established. So I'm sure they took a look at that and said, okay, this gal, she could get some visibility for us, with her audience, because I'm sure your audience is, similar to you in many ways,
Like attracts like.
Has the means to travel on occasion and explore and go on adventures. So, I can imagine that was appealing to them. Was there anything that they asked of you? Like, were there anything specific that they wanted you to do or say or promote for them?
No, I think it was more that because Winerest specifically, and you guys please go to winerest.com. I'm going to plug them right to your face, because they're such a really cool travel company. They pull together hotels, so they're all vetted hotels and adventures, and definitely centered around wine. So everything that you go and see, you can pick your country and then you choose the region. So for them, they were just looking to showcase, and this is what I asked them. I said, what things do you want me to showcase? What's your favorite thing? What do you think would be a great thing to have a name or an experience to? And then the other element that I added in, and again, I think I just thought this up one day, was, realizing that my numbers are pretty strong on Google+. But, overall, it's not like I have this huge following on Twitter and the other social platforms. And so what I did was I came up with the idea of the board of influencers, which I'm going to out you. You are one of the people I said I want Denise to be a part of. And then what the idea is that I presented all the numbers of I have 5 people, including you, who have different strengths in different areas, in cooking and adventures and marketing. And then I presented that also with my numbers to say, in addition to me sharing, this board of influencers will also be sharing this out to their audience. And so, I kind of took the strength of numbers, realizing, it's not like I've got millions of views. I'm no crazy cat video on YouTube. I have a good solid number. I have a lot of content proof, but it's not like I'm some big, social or video hot button. So that's what I did, was I combined all the numbers and found the strength in the people that I really, you trust me. They know I'm not going to ask them to share something that's not aligned with their audience.
Right. And you know, to be fair, you did show a cat video at one point when you were in Rome.
I did. Oh, is that the best? Oh, the three-legged Bob's Italian brother, the tripod.
Yes. I hope I'm not bringing up something, you know, sad, but
no, it was such a joyful event. I mean, I was just floored. Like, oh my God, he looked like Bob, and he was a tripod. It was insane. So no,
I mean, how could you not show that? And you know, I think that got a lot of heat for you too. You know,
I think it did. There's Bob fans out there that thought it was a great, you know, thing to throw his ashes.
Yeah. Anyway, so the cat video did get in there. Okay. So, you know, you are known to your fans here on Google Plus and on Facebook and on Twitter as being the host of the Mia Connect Power Chat, and that your brand is the Mia Connect. So how do you see the brand ambassador role connecting with the Mia Connect? Is there a connection? And if so, how do you see that evolving?
You know, that's been the why I initially started doing the show, was because one thing that I love to talk about stuff I love. I usually use a different S word. You know that. I cleaned it up for you.
That's okay.
So I love to talk about shows I love. And so I see it's a combination. So, you know, and I do that on the show, but then I actually came up with the new hashtag for this adventure, which is the hashtag MiaOnTheGo, to do a little bit of an experiment to see if I could just make, you know, just specifically just brand ambassadorship, not connected to the Power Chat, but have that be like another offshoot of the Mia Connect brand. So that's been fun. My original impetus was the hashtag 50 in 2015, which I'm still using. So that's another offshoot of it, because I'm so fascinated with this milestone birthday, what it's like, what I thought it was going to be like, you know, where I thought I would be, what I thought I would look like at this age. I mean, I've really been kind of looking at that. So, you know, then I came up with the MiaOnTheGo as a part, like almost like the start of an adventure. And my new title I'm kind of working with, I'm going to love this, is, hold on a second. Oh, Experience Ambassador.
Nice.
Because it's just more even, yeah.
It is an experience. I mean, it was an experience kind of going along on the journey with you, for sure, you know, because you had such a great mix of media. You had live media, you had, you know, Instagram videos.
Yeah.
You were experimenting with Meerkat and Periscope, because those kind of landed on the scene right in the midst of your adventure too. So, you know, that's what I really enjoyed, is that you were trying to bring in as much visual experience for those of us, you know, who are sitting here jealously at home watching.
You know what I really try to do is have it be a little bit of jealousy, because I mean, I felt the same way when you were in India. Just like, oh man, the eye candy, because you're in the same kind of place where, and seriously, you guys, Italy is that frigging charming. I've said this before. I couldn't, after 3.5 weeks, I was like, every place I've been, it's as charming and looks as fun as you think it does, as we've been led to believe. So it's that charming. But yeah, I mean, it was fun, because there were so many different ways to experience. But the one thing I was cautious about, and I kept watching as I was going, we've talked about this. I wasn't posting a ton while I was there. Just enough. One, because I didn't want to irritate people and have them be like, enough with your friggin' vacation already. Right. But then I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't, because you guys have all seen these pictures of where it's like somebody's manicured toes on a lounge chair with a drink, and they're like, life is awesome, I'm so blessed. And you're like, really? Okay, now I feel terrible about my life. So I wanted it to be more of like, come along with me, and this is where you need to go. If I can go, you can go too.
Right. Yes.
You
I
know
think
what
I only saw, I totally know those pictures, and they do get a little annoying, but I did like your pictures in slippers though,
I
so.
did, yeah. I thought, well, I was so big. I was just it really like that embodied for me just that relief. Because I mean, here's the bottom line: is I left. I was gone 3.5 weeks. I did not stay in one place for more than 2 days that entire time. Except wait,
Wow.
New York. I was there for 3 nights, and in Milan, I was there for 3 nights. But in general, I was on the go every other day. I learned a lot about packing. Some lessons learned on that one too.
What, bring less next time?
Bring less next time. And you know what? If you go back and look at my pictures, and you guys, I would love for you to go and look at the album that I posted. The thing I love about Google is I got to post pictures, auto awesomes, and videos all in that album. And I don't see anything else that lets you do that. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great tool, and they were probably all being auto backed up too, so you didn't even really have to do a lot of work to put it together.
You know, my only problem was that I had my data off a lot. Just because, oh, good God, you gotta get that in order before you go. I thought I did, but I ate it up. So it didn't actually geotag a lot of them. That was my only problem. So a little lesson learned. I'm gonna play with that one. But I will say I brought along a lot of things. I did pack this. It was in a Ziploc bag the whole time. I'm sure customs was like, what is wrong with this girl? I brought this. I actually had this laminated. This survived 3.5 weeks
It looks great. It looks great.
It actually is in good shape. And then the stormtrooper, he's taking a nap in the other room. So what I did,
you had a workout.
I did. Well, and I posted the video of the earrings that you gave me. So what I did to encourage people to engage is that I asked them to send me stuff. So you sent me earrings. Dawn Swick sent me this beautiful necklace, and I'm cleaning it right now. This beautiful necklace because her birthday's around mine, and I carried it. I really felt like it was a talisman. Like I said, it was just such a beautiful thing. And then Cameron Young gave me his GoPro, loaned, and he gave me a little stormtrooper. So you'll see throughout there that the stormtrooper makes an appearance, usually drinking coffee or Prosecco. So that was a fun little experiment too.
Yeah, and I think that helped people, as you said, engage and kind of look for it. And it's like, where's the stormtrooper today? What's the stormtrooper drinking today? Oh, it's Prosecco today. Oh, it's Pinot Grigio tomorrow. Oh, it's Chianti the next day.
Can I just tell you, the first time I took the picture of him, and I need to make the album, I was on a flight from Denver to New York, and I sort of held him up out the window. Out the window, took a picture, and then I had this glass of wine, and I put him on the glass of wine, and the guy next to me was like he was not enthused.
Well, he just didn't get it.
He didn't get it. That's right. So forget him. So
forget him.
The other series that I took, by the way, and I haven't published, is a series of how to flush a toilet. Because it was such an adventure every time you went to the bathroom. How does this toilet flush? Is it here? Is it here? Is it on my foot? Is it, it's crazy. So I have a series of like my hand just pushing a button. There are like probably about 15 pictures of how to flush a toilet.
Probably a lot of the places that you visited and stayed at have been around a lot longer than flush toilets. So,
Amen to that. I only ran into one of just the footprints, and I have a picture of that, of just this, like, oh my God, really? This is going to happen. Listen,
okay, we're getting into the potty humor now. Okay, all right.
You've been in India, you know how this works.
Yep. I've been around a lot of places where I know how that works. So, okay, so let's go back to MiaOnTheGo, and you've talked about, you created a hashtag for it. What kind of work was involved to put together, all these places? I mean, if you were not in one place longer than 2 nights or 3 nights, you were definitely on the go. So what was involved with that? Because you also had other sponsors, including Winerest, that, I don't know, did they help you put that together, or how did that work?
Yeah, I have to give a shout out. The 2 bookends to this that were not necessarily companies are Nazim Beltran and Pio Delsin. Like, these 2 guys and their family and their friends were these anchors within these these ambassador companies, Winerest, and then there was a hotel in Rome actually that I partnered with too. So that was the other piece that I had is I show up in Milan and Nazim and Betty were hosting me, and then also we had a show where Nazim's wife Betty redid my hair and makeup, brought in another high fashion hair person. So it was just so I mean this was really all I did was set up the vehicle, and all these people put in this time and effort to connect me to their friends and family. I mean, on the way back in Milan, Nazim takes me by his friend Corey's soul fried chicken place. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I saw a picture, yeah.
I mean, it was just so unlike. It's this wonderful man from Kentucky who's been in Italy for 18 years, and he has this fried chicken place in the middle of Chinatown, or right next to Chinatown. And so just places like that. I did an impromptu video with him, and then I visited Pio, who I've been talking with for 2 years, and Nazim. I mean, I haven't physically met them, but it was like, the connection and the friendship that you build on Google Plus. And then when you go see people, it's off the chain. And so then, Pio introduces me to the mayor of their town. They take me to a cheese making place, a Prosecco place. Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was good. It was very fun. I thought I would get sick of Prosecco and I didn't. But it really was a lot of work beforehand of working with Winerest, of working with, the excursion companies. The lucky thing was when Winerest presented that to a lot of these excursion companies, I actually had to turn a lot down. People really wanted me to come and visit. And I think they just, and I was so excited to tell Italians, like, we love you. In case you've forgotten, we love you. So please, just know that there are people out there. So I felt like that. Hopefully, I think that's part of the proof is connecting these businesses to the audience.
Right. Wow. That's
and they're
amazing.
Feeling it. I'm getting amazing positive feedback from the businesses that I visited. They're very excited about the outcome.
Well, that's fantastic, because I could see that, like, specifically the videos that I was able to watch, or the live events I was able to watch, were your birthday, which was really fun. I learned stuff in that.
That was a good.
How the men felt, but I learned some stuff in that from those two, expert stylists.
Yes.
And also the one that you did in the hotel in Rome, and you had the wine tour guy, and the hotelier, and the artist, the woman who was the tour guide, and the artist. And I thought that was brilliant. It really, you were able to showcase, and this is one of your gifts too, is that you know how to bring out the best in people and like really showcase them. And I hope happy. I hope that they see the fruit of that too, because that was great. That was great.
They definitely felt the power of video, of it not just being this sort of one-dimensional social platform or social program. They felt the power of getting out there, doing video, connecting to people. So there's definitely a lot of them were really all of them were really appreciative. I think the most important thing too is make sure that you are partnering with people who do appreciate social media to an extent. If they don't know that much about it, they probably have high expectations that they're going to be this, YouTube sensation, because they don't understand the market. So you do have to make sure you partner with people who are at least curious about social proof.
So how did you determine that? Did you, have to have like pre-conversations about, here's how it works, this is what we're going to do, this is what you can expect?
Yes, definitely. It worked out. It worked out well. I definitely, that is the most important thing, is having the conversation of expectation beforehand and not overpromising. I mean, I think they were happy with it, but for me, it's more about creating content. I didn't promise them, oh my gosh, you're going to have 1,000 subscribers after this. But if you get a couple people that are like, as soon as I get to Italy, I'm going there, they have this connection, they can remember. Right. They'll remember, or they'll come back to me, but they have this. It's not just going to TripAdvisor or going to a YouTube channel. There's actually somebody that's talking about it in real life, in the moment.
Right. And I think that is the, really the power here of what you were doing, is that there was, you were able to create intimacy, between you, your media partners, and the audience that you were sharing with. And I think that even when you watch after the fact, you can still feel that energy with it.
And that's a big piece of this. And I think you have it on your question list is it's just beginning, because I'm back now, and now I have all the content. And so there'll be blog posts and repurposing of the content, and, resharing, because the photos are so amazing. So, and the big kind of announcement on that is that, actually during the trip, I made the decision to come back at harvest. I just started talking about it. I'm like, let's make it happen.
Yeah, why not? Right. It's so you just touched here a little bit on, what happens now. So in terms of what you're doing, for the media partners and for your own your own opportunities for maybe becoming a experience ambassador, for other companies or organizations, what are the steps you're taking now to keep the message going, or to keep the energy going around MiaOnTheGo?
It's the resharing. Great question. It's the resharing of the content. Same thing. And then I've kind of, again, I'm formulating it as I go, but it's gotten me interested in doing a couple more MiaOnTheGos. I'm going to be going down to Austin for a little spell down this summer, because it's so nice and balmy in Austin in the summertime. I heard it's a nightmare, but there's a couple people that we all know down there, and so I'm actually going to experiment with the MiaOnTheGo down there as well. I'll tell you, Debi Davis just her team just put out this case study on Google Maps and getting Google businesses together, and I posted that this morning, so you guys go take a look at that, and it's got me really interested in that idea as well of helping businesses say, get on the map, get your video, and have somebody that's going to showcase an adventure with you.
Oh, I love that.
It could be fun. New York too. I need to go to the treehouse. I've got my eyes on the treehouse.
Okay, that's Lynn, if you're on treehouse is in Toronto.
In Toronto, so go to New York and then go right above. Yes. Oh my God. I mean, I just daydream about that treehouse.
Well, it's worth daydreaming about. It's worth being there.
Now I'm jealous. Yes.
I got to be there a couple years ago. Okay, so you're working on repurposing content, sharing out that content. So, I know this, we didn't really talk about this, but I'm just curious to know, are you documenting or recording what you've been doing on this initial, this is like a beta test here, what you did for this Italian adventure. So are you kind of tracking what you've been doing, what worked, what maybe you don't want to do again, that sort of thing, to be able to present to future brands?
Absolutely. And again, I mean, I've been back exactly 1 week, and it definitely took me a while to, because when I went there, I had a stop in New York. So I got, the 2-hour time delay, the time zone handled. And then I went to Milan, and that was 5 hours. And then there was a time change while I was there. Hello. Who gets bitch slapped twice by the time change? Me. Right. And so then when I come back, I had this full 8 hours to just, 8-hour time difference to take in. So it's been taking me a little while, but I'm really doing, I don't want to say it's not Monday morning quarterbacking, but a lot of lessons learned and tweaking. And it's still in progress, because I want to see how it works. I think the biggest thing that I'm loving doing is, for all of my brands, I go do a TripAdvisor review. I've posted photos on their Facebook pages, done a Facebook review, done a Google review. I'll probably do a Yelp review. So that's also something that I'm doing to kind of set myself with TripAdvisor or with these different things of like, I like it and I'm going to talk about it.
Right. That's excellent, because that you're also serving the people who took such good care of you as well when you were there.
And they were, and I have so much content to share. I mean, when the TripAdvisor says, do you have photos? I'm like, do I have photos? Yes, I do.
You want photos? Okay.
Yeah. And then uploading them up to YouTube has been fun too. I think next time I'm also going to take advantage. I'll tell you this all my photos from my big phablet, my Galaxy Note, and then I took a lot of impromptu videos with it as well. So I'm going to probably be a little more casual about not having everything set up and just do a lot more videos on the go. It's fun content, short fun content.
Yeah, it is. And it gives just like that glimpse and really helps for that, immediate, like this is where you were like an hour ago or whatever. So it really keeps that real time feeling going.
It does.
So what is next? You've alluded that you're going to Austin and you're going back for harvest. Are you going to partner with Winerest again, or do you have some new folks that you want to connect with when you're in Italy for harvest?
Definitely Winerest again, where I'm going to be talking with them and sharing the results. I have not, Node 3X was also part of this too. So I'm waiting for Node to get the results back to me of the spread and how far that went. And then that'll give me lessons learned too, what to emphasize. I watched a lot I watched the reaction as I was on the trip too, and I didn't see anything really wane too much. I didn't see the pluses and the comments sort of drop. So I think it was just the interest in Italy and the ongoing adventure. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I want to partner with Winerest, and then I've got a couple more people that I've met. I mean, I met a ton of great people that got pretty excited about it. So I just have to learn Italian. It was very interesting to go not knowing that much Italian, but I'm not going to get the get out of jail card on the second trip. I got to get it together.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of online programs that are very good too.
I know it. I'm on it. And I have so many friends that I can have the Google Hangouts with, and just, Nazim, Tosca is Nazim's friend, my friend Cheryl Ann. Like, I've got a lot of people I can really just start having these Google Hangout conversations in Italian.
So you think you'll ever take groups with you on these?
Hell yeah. Trips? Who wants to go? Who wants to go? It's a good idea. Like, yeah, hey, raise your hand out in the audience. I actually thought about it. Thank you for saying that. I think it would be really fun to just say how can you go wrong with, I mean, what company wouldn't turn down a bunch of people who are snap happy and socially savvy that love stuff and want to share the experience?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that has been whirling around my consciousness too for the last couple of years, since my trips to Peru and my trip to India. Is like, how can I put something really interesting together to share that with other people?
Yes.
To share the whole adventurous, because there's so much that, well, let me ask you, I know what my experience is, but when, during the course of this adventure that you were having, did you find that you were having moments or feelings about transformation in your life, in your business? Was there stuff going on for you around that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I the one thing I've been saying to anybody who asks me about the trip is that I really made sure to stay present where I was. Again, that's why I wasn't trying to figure out how to post or find a Wi-Fi wherever I was. I just took the pictures and then just stayed present in the moment. One night specifically, I was eating dinner in Florence. It was my first night eating dinner by myself, because I had all these people that were taking me to dinner or going out to dinner with me, or where the places where I was staying. And I made myself sit there and not look at my phone and not do anything, and just sit and hang out and be that dorky American, because it's pretty clear as American, just sitting there and taking it all in. So I think it was definitely, what more than anything, I just found out that I could do it, because there was a couple things that came up with me the months beforehand that I almost canceled. There was some adversity. And then I said, no, you're driven to do this. You have to go do this. So more knowing that I could do it, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I enjoyed coming home, Yeah. So just be there.
Well, from the external position, it looked like you were enjoying every minute too.
I really did.
We also know that we can choose what we share. So, not that I want to get into anything here, but just, I know that from my experience in traveling, all over the world for many, many years, is that you can't help but shift and change. Even when you don't think you will or you don't want to, you can't help it. And it's and I think it's almost always for the best. I can't actually think of any time when it wasn't for the best for me.
No, absolutely. It was it really was just proof. When we're talking about social proof, it was Mia proof for myself of, this birthday is a huge deal. This switching into this whole next part of my life. And, you think a lot of times like, oh, it's like kind of downhill, and it felt really, and I am woman, hear me roar kind of thing. That's why I wore my Wonder Woman t-shirt.
All right. You are a Wonder Woman.
I'm trying. I'm more of like a dorky woman. I mean, I will say I just let myself be really kind of not quiet, but just observed a lot. There were a couple of times, can I just admit, there were a few times when there were Americans around and I acted like I didn't speak English. Because I didn't really want to get to know them.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So, okay, you normally at this point in the show, I ask my guests, what their most memorable adventure has been. Well, you just had what I would imagine is a pretty memorable 3 weeks, but is there something that happened specifically, something you experienced specifically that really stands out from that 3-week adventure?
It was, we ended up going on a scooter tour, of a very impromptu scooter tour of Rome. And this was the hotel manager, that fun Nicola Rex that's been on my show. And he's a busy guy. And he said, this is the best way for you to see Rome. And we walked out, and there's the helmet, and it was a little nail biting. I got to admit, it is definitely, up on curbs and things like that. But I mean, it was just exhilarating, just be zipping around Rome and through different, through traffic that you wouldn't get through, or just places that I wouldn't feel comfortable going to. So that was a super big highlight.
That sounds fantastic.
And
Scary,
I got it on GoPro.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, I won't even front like I wasn't a little terrified, but I felt he's been in Rome for years and years, and that's how he gets around. So there's a trust factor.
Yeah. Well, good. So what's the best place for folks to connect with you, to learn more about your adventure, to learn about future adventures, to learn about your show, etc.?
Just everything on social media is the Mia Connect. And then if you go to the MiaConnect.com, there is a tab that's on the go, and it shows every place that I've been, including we have the photo album, a link to the photo album there too. But definitely go just check out the photo album that I posted again, because it has the videos. And if you have questions about any of the places that I went, or any of the places I stayed, please let me know. But go to the MiaConnect.com.
Is there anyone else? You're Mia Voss, absolutely. And any final shout out to sponsors and media partners?
I should put that on there. I should put my Lower Thorn on there. Yes, let me go through everybody real quick. So yes, Winerest, of course. So Winerest.com is their crucial Hotel dei Millini and Hotel dei Borgognoni. Those are the 2 hotels that I stayed at. I actually ended up partnering with them separately, and that's Nicola Rex. Of course, Nazim Beltran is out of Milan, and Pio del Sin is in the Treviso, Veneto, or the Veneto region. Those 2 guys, please go circle them. They're the best Italian ambassadors I've ever seen. I'm not saying you can stay at their house. I'm just saying they're the best resource I've ever met. And then I have to give a shout out to Debi Davis and Bill Reed. We didn't get a chance to get into this, but they were crucial in helping me sort out, one, how to put this out there, how to share it. Debi is just tremendously organized, and her mind thinks in such a great way of how to get that out there. So they were boots on the ground for me during the trip, and helped me put a lot of stuff out there. So
excellent. And the retreat space you went to in Umbria?
Thank you. And Adelaide. Thank you. And Adelaide and Mark. So Adelaide, Hornline, Heidi Hornline, and Mark Davenport. The Paradiso Integral, that was my last space that we stayed at. First of all, they came and picked me up. They took me to Orvieto. Heidi's been there for 30 years. Mark's only been there. He's from America and has been there about 3, I think. I mean, seeing it through their eyes and having them take me to these different places, and then their space, that's where I did my last show, was absolutely amazing. That is some dreamy landscape. They've created an amazing little spot. So.
Okay. And that's a place we can stay?
That is a place you can stay. Yes, it is. And I think that retreat wise, she's built this, she has the existing house, and then they built this other little house with a space where we had the show, and then these just different rooms, and it all overlooks. Look at me, I'm getting all flushed. I mean, it is just beautiful. So yeah.
Okay. I think a retreat is in order in Italy.
You need to be spiritually plugged in if you go there, though. Don't go there expecting, like this. You need to be ready to plug in. And it's such a great place to. I mean, they have this outdoor kitchen, and everything was like a Pinterest pin moment.
So do you have a Pinterest board for your trip?
I haven't put it together yet. Oh, that's my last one. Thank you, though. Actually, I do have a board, so please go over it. Same thing, the Mia Connect on Pinterest, and I'm putting those boards up there too. And I'm also going to be doing a blog post on top lessons learned, top 5 things Americans should know when they go to Europe. One is you need to know the metric system.
Okay, excellent. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you've got a lot going on, and so does our audience. But I do want to remind you that if you want to get advance notice of future Adventures in Visibility, you can go to adventuresinvisibility.com and sign up to get early notice when they're scheduled. Also, if you prefer to listen to the shows, you can get Adventures in Visibility on podcast. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, and you can subscribe at adventuresinvisibilitypodcast.com. So Mia, thank you so much for being with me
Denise.
Today and sharing, some of your experiences and sharing, the people that you connected with, the media people, the travel. I guess there's really travel companies. It's a media tour for them.
Yeah,
travel.
And the adventure companies too, the 500 Fiat Touring Club, Live Italy, Vinicultural Tours. I'll post, if that's okay, I'll post everything in there because I'd love it for everybody to circle and get in touch with everyone that I got to get a little hit off.
Absolutely. Go for it. Okay, so thank you. Thank you one and all for being here with me today, and please have an adventurous day.
Happy anniversary, Denise.
Thank you.